Hi, I'm Kim.
And I'm Liz.
And we're just going to hang out with you for a little bit and chat about random things and some interesting current affairs as well. Thanks for joining us. This is our inaugural show.
I have not done this before. On our own podcast. I am new.
You just had your first interview on another podcast earlier today.
Yes.
You did an awesome job.
This is my first day.
This is your very first day in podcasting.
That's right.
That's fantastic. How does it feel?
It's good.
Yeah.
I'm having fun.
Yeah. You usually blog.
Yes.
And you have a lot to say.
Yes. It is easier when I am typing because I can take it back.
You like the edit key.
Yes, I really like backspace.
Delete.
Yes.
I totally get that. Well, cool. So let's start off by talking about your new blog, because you introduced it, a week ago?
Yeah, about a week ago.
And it's called?
Shamelessly Breastfeeding Wherever I Go.
And do you live up to its name?
I do. I wherever I go, that's where my boobs go, and that's my baby's food. So if she's hungry, I will feed her.
Very good. That is a great attitude. So let's just talk a little bit about who you are and why you're shamelessly breastfeeding.
Well, my baby is 6.5 weeks old and really hungry all the time.
She is. She's a little piggy.
So, I could pump and use bottles outside of the home if I wanted to, but really there's no way for me to know how much she's going to want to eat in a given day, because some days she's awake all day and eating like a pig, and other days she sleeps through everything. So It's really not convenient to use a bottle at all.
Yeah.
It's much easier to just whip out the boob.
I had the same attitude and experience 25 years ago when I was breastfeeding. So think about that for a minute. But this isn't your first time at the rodeo. You've got Lander, who's 3. He just had his birthday this week.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
And he was also breastfed until just after he turned 2.
Yeah. And you started this blog and you had a lot of response to it right away. Why do you think that is? Why do you think people were excited about it?
Well, when I first started it, I got the word out all over a message board that I joined with other moms. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of them were craving this kind of content. Yes, there's breastfeeding advice out there on the web, but there's not so much like this feeling of community about it. It's more of, how do I do this? Not, is this okay? Can I go anywhere? Is this what other women are doing? Mm-hmm. So a lot of them are afraid to breastfeed in public. They feel nervous about it. And unfortunately, when you're nervous about it, baby picks up on that. And it makes the whole thing a lot more difficult.
Sure.
And you end up drawing a lot of attention to yourself, which is what you fear in the first place. Whereas if you just don't care, things go so much more smoothly.
Well, that could apply to a lot of things in life.
It's true. It's true.
You just don't care. Just live fearlessly. It'll just go much easier.
Yeah. And a lot
I suppose you could take that too far.
That's true. Yes,
yeah.
It can go too far. But as far as the blog goes, a lot of women were excited to share in my experiences and be part of the blog site that I'd set up. So I received pictures and a couple of stories that I was able to share right away. And I think that was an encouragement to women who are maybe struggling with the decision to breastfeed, especially in public.
It's so fascinating to me because this is something that we as a species, as human beings, have been equipped to do since the beginning of time. Yet here we are in 2013 and people still have issues with it.
Yes. I think it's gotten better in the past couple decades. I mean, I hear women say that 20, 30 years ago it was unheard of, in many communities to breastfeed outside the home or breastfeed at all. A lot of women formula fed because they were told they should. And I think a lot of that is I don't know, it's just silliness.
Well, there was a lot, and I don't want to spend too much more time on it, but there was a lot of like the women's lib movement and women going into the workforce. And so in doing that, then bottle feeding became more prevalent because it seemed to be a more feasible way of feeding babies when you had to go back to work. But
that makes sense. I imagine when that first started up, breast pumps probably weren't very common.
Oh no! No, they probably weren't.
I can understand leaning towards formula when you really do have to work and you have no pump. So I get it.
Yeah, but a whole new industry has been born, and there's a lot more support for it, and you're part of that support system.
Yeah.
So before we move on, though, why don't you go ahead and give your blog address real quick in case somebody wants to jump on board?
Sure. If you'd like to check out my blog, just pull up your browser, type in http //shamelesslybreastfeeding.blogspot.com.
Yeah, shamelesslybreastfeeding.blogspot.com. I think we can all figure out the HTTP.
It's important.
Yeah, you're right. Way to be thorough.
Just in case.
Okay. We've got a lot to talk about. We wanted to share with you some stuff that we've got going on this week and pick out some news stories that caught our attention. And also, Elizabeth's got a movie review for us, and we'd like to do a product review every week, kind of share what we've tried. And this week we're going to take a look at a children's product that happened to fall into Lander's lap this week.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that coming up in just a little bit. But first, let's check out the news. What do you think? This is a tricky situation. What do you think about these two young ladies? And I think they're in Florida. Yeah, they're in Florida. They're two young ladies went to school together or go to school together, 14 and 18. And in the course of going to school together and having lunch together and going to classes and stuff, they develop a relationship that became a sexual relationship. And 14-year-old's mom and dad got wind of it, and at this point it's evolved to the point where the 18-year-old's charged with 2 felony counts of child. Let me just look at my notes here and make sure I get it exactly correct. I want to be correct. 2 counts of child abuse, felony child abuse. And she was offered a plea deal to plead guilty to child abuse and be on like community watch and probation and stuff like that. So it doesn't sound like she would even have to serve time if she accepted the deal, but she would be subject to not having contact with the minor and probably other minors and stuff like that. She refused it. She had the opportunity. I mean, she doesn't deny that this relationship was happening. So an 18-year-old in a sexual, what they say is a consensual relationship with a 14-year-old, doesn't deny it, but refuse the opportunity to take this plea deal and not go to jail. But it's illegal. Anybody under the age of 16 in the state of Florida cannot give consent.
Right, so it's not a consensual relationship.
Well, there you go. So, I mean, we all agree, and even the 18-year-old girl herself agrees that it was not a lawful act.
Right. Law aside, if you even just talk about 14-year-olds shouldn't be in a sexual relationship with anyone, in my opinion. I wasn't doing that when I was 14. I didn't really care to. 14, you're what, a freshman in high school?
Typically, yeah. What if it was 2 14-year-olds?
Still inappropriate.
Who would you throw in jail for that one?
I don't necessarily think jail is appropriate.
Yeah.
Especially not for minors.
Yeah.
From what I know of that kind of system, it generally creates more problems for young people who go through it. I mean, I'm sure there are juvenile programs that are very helpful, but it could really ruin your life to know that you've been there.
I know, but I look at I was just reading the news story on CNN, and They indicated that the 18-year-old had just turned, she was 108 days past her 18th birthday. If this would have happened 109 days ago, she wouldn't have been able to be charged.
Well,
so
that's not what happened, though. I mean,
you're so black and white.
I'm just saying, like,
isn't it?
When you are 18 and you know that it's against the law to have sexual relations with a 14-year-old, don't do it. I mean, unless you are willing to take the risk of, I mean, if you are so in love with that 14-year-old, you must consummate your love with them. You know, that's a risk, and that's a risk you're willing to take. You know, fine, whatever. But when someone catches you, you can't honestly be surprised.
Yeah, that's hard. That's the hard part, I think, about having 18-year-olds still in high school, because you become a legal adult and you have a lot of ramifications against you.
Yeah.
But you're still in this kid environment.
Oh, yeah. No, I turned 18 when my birthday's in January. I still had half a year of school left to go. Mm-hmm. And what do you know? I could buy cigarettes. And what do you know? My minor friends wanted to share. And what do you know? I got caught. So I dealt with the consequences of that. And luckily, you know, no one charged me with anything, but I had to, you know, I got suspended. My mother got called. I had to deal with that. The lesson is, if you're 18 and you're in high school and you have minor friends, you know, you need to be aware that you are 18, you are an adult. You know, yeah. I don't think that that's hammered home very well with these high school students. It never really even occurred to me at the time that I was technically a grown-up.
Right. Right. You are.
I was the
old.
adult in the situation, and
right.
I did not behave as one because it didn't really occur to me. You know, in school they don't really mention it.
And you're still in school, and you're still in that.
Right. So it's easy to just forget.
So should her parents be responsible for that?
The 18-year-olds?
Mm-hmm.
See, and that's a tough one. No. She is an adult, and it's unfortunate that she did not understand if, you know, maybe, I don't know her personally, but it seems she did not really understand all of the consequences that could come from this.
So you think she should have taken the deal? Or should she go to prison?
I don't necessarily think she needs to go to prison. I think her choice to not take the plea deal, you know, that's her choice, and good for her. It's her right to demand a trial.
Right.
And have a jury of her peers. Hopefully not other 18-year-olds.
But it could be.
But yeah,
but she'll probably have a harsher sentence, though,
if
going
she loses,
through trial. Mm-hmm.
If she loses, yes, she'll have a harsher sentence. But, you know, if she wants to kind of play the dice there and see if the jury is on her side here, that's her right. And it could be that it goes easier for her this way. Taking that plea deal, she would have had to deal for years with the probation or the community watch or whatever, and probably have to stay away from kids. Probably have to stay away from all kids, because I know a lot of states don't draw clear lines about that.
Right.
So it could be that, you know, any kind of job that would put her in contact with children, she wouldn't be able to have. Probably couldn't even work at a Burger King because of their play place.
Right.
So
Wow.
Really, when you think about that, that was not that great of a deal for her.
Right. You're right. You made some good points. Well, let's turn from teenagers facing felony charges to,
such a cheerful topic,
to is it a teenage beauty pageant in
Texas? You're gonna love this. You are gonna love this. A beauty pageant held in April at the Rattlesnake Roundup in Sweetwater, Texas. I'm sure you're aware of what beauty pageants require, you know, poise and evening gowns and maybe even a swimsuit competition.
Right.
This one requires you to have some ability and inclination to milk and skin rattlers, as in rattlesnakes.
Well, that makes perfect sense.
Right. Well, it's the Rattlesnake Roundup. High school senior Kendra Vaught, hope I'm saying that right, won this year's Miss Snake Charmer, wearing jeweled boots one night for her country and western ballad, and then Kevlar boots and camouflage chaps the next, as she took on dozens of rattlers in a wooden snake pit. This is ridiculous.
How old is she?
It does not say. It doesn't say. I'm probably quite young.
I would hope. Well, gosh, I would hope they would be over 18 because here's the other side of the coin: child endangerment.
Right. No, I imagine she's a high school senior, so 17 or 18 would be my guess.
Sure.
So I'm hoping 18 because then she's an adult and made her own decision, probably with hopefully an informed one. I have to say this is both ridiculous and awesome. You've got to have respect for a girl who climbs into a wooden snake pit with dozens of rattlesnakes. That takes, excuse my French, that takes balls.
So how long does she have to stay in said snake pit?
The article does not say. It says, though, that she expertly held one serpent up, offering its tail and rattles for a baby to touch. Then helped hold, measure, milk, and skin a buzzing, slithering serpent.
How's that for your resume?
Right, no, they have to hire you.
A rattlesnake.
I milked a rattlesnake. I won Miss Snake Charmer at the Rattlesnake Roundup.
Oh, wow.
Hire me.
Kudos to her. Where did you find this crazy, wacky
This
information?
is from weirduniverse.net, which I love.
Weirduniverse.net. It sounds like it's right up your alley.
Oh, yes.
Fantastic. So, right up your alley also, I happen to know you saw this movie because I was on babysitting duty for a midnight showing of Iron Man 3.
Oh, yeah, the first night that it showed.
I haven't seen it yet, so tell us all about it. Was it any good?
It's very good. I enjoyed it very much. I'm a big fan of comic book movies, mostly since I got married to a big geek. It wasn't really my thing before, but you know, he doesn't watch chick flicks, so I kind of cater to him, and I've really enjoyed it, actually. So Iron Man 3, I saw the first two. I saw the Avengers. After that whole business with aliens in New York, Iron Man kind of has a little bit of an identity crisis, some issues, and a lot of the movie is him working through some anxiety and kind of a who am I, what good am I really without my suit?
That sounds kind of like a chick flick.
In a way, it's very emotional, yeah.
Really?
And I mean, there's some romance. He's with Gwyneth Paltrow's character, Pepper Potts.
And it's Robert Downey Jr.
It's Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
Gosh, he's a handsome man.
You don't remember his drug days,
No,
do
I
you?
was not there for that.
Well, he's made a great comeback.
Yeah, good for him. But so he's in a committed relationship and wants to protect this woman he loves, but he happens to know that there are some horribly scary things out there. So it causes him a lot of anxiety, and he pits himself up against a terrorist organization and comes out on top, but not without a lot of I would say that, an identity crisis kind of in the middle of it.
So Iron Man needs a therapist.
Right. Well, he finds one in, this little boy in some small town.
Oh, well, that's who I would want for my therapist.
I know, right? It's crazy. This poor boy from a broken home with this terrible, pitiful story. And, of course, Tony Stark has absolutely no pity for anyone. So it's kind of fun to see the way they treat each other. And it helps them both.
Interesting.
So by the end, it's like he's got this little sidekick, but instead of this mushy gushy nonsense you see in a lot of movies, it's pretty heartless.
Huh. Well, I'll have to check it out. I
highly recommend it.
I have seen some of the Iron Man, but that sounds more up my alley.
I think you would enjoy it. There's some love in there.
Some love. Yeah. It's worth checking out.
You know
what? It's coming up, and I haven't seen it. I don't think you've seen it. It's out on DVD in the Redbox. Redboxes now is Les Miserables.
I really want to see that. My
I've heard so much.
husband refuses to watch it.
Well, we'll have to get it and have a girls' night out.
We will, and we'll review it for you.
We'll sing it, too.
I will totally sing it. My high school did Les Mis when I was a sophomore, I believe. And it was just phenomenal. And I fell in love with that whole thing.
Yeah.
I read the abridged version of the book. I didn't read the full, big, huge one. But, I mean, it's a good story.
That could be your summer beach reading.
Oh, yeah.
Les Miserables.
For 3 years in a row, that will be my summer beach reading. It's a huge book.
Great. Well, let's turn from comic book movie to children's toy.
All right. Nice segue.
Yeah, well, thanks. That's what I do. It's what I do. So tell us about Lander turned your firstborn, Lander, turned 3 years old a couple of days ago.
Yeah, on Monday.
And got some great presents.
He did. He got some very great, expensive gifts that I would never have paid for myself.
Well, and he also got some trains that he's sleeping with right now.
Yeah, and those probably weren't very expensive, so way to go, Grandma Verna.
Yeah, one of the new favorite prizes is Matchbox trains.
Yeah.
And he loves them to death.
But the expensive toy he got was an InnoTab 2 from VTech. It's one of those toys that I always saw like at Target and was like, man, that would be kind of cool, but I don't really know if I would pay that much for it. You know, because they can run anywhere from $60 to $100 for stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I am cheap.
Yeah. And he's a smart boy. He uses my Android tablet, and he can run circles around that. So
Right.
I was a little concerned that he would be above the InnoTab, that it
Right.
wouldn't be enough challenge or entertainment for him.
But I have to say, we've got 3 different game cartridges for it in addition to the one it comes with. He's tried them all, and he really likes it. It also comes with a few little things that you can do on it, like a camera and a video function, and you can download music onto it or just copy music from your own computer. He actually really loves it. He likes working with the stylus instead of just his fingers, although he uses his fingers too. But it's great for the motor skills with that. It's got favorite characters from shows that he likes, and rather than just sitting there watching it on a TV, he's interacting with it and, problem solving and things like that. Each cartridge comes with an ebook that they read. It reads it to them and it highlights the words as it goes along.
Nice.
So it's become actually one of my favorites of his toys. It's something that he can use to entertain himself with and also hopefully learn a little bit.
And I was having fun with it too last night. Me and Lander hung out with baby Janet while Mama was at work, and he brought it over to me, and the finger painting just tickled me to death because it's got you choose an animal to finger paint, and you get to choose the colors, and you get the animal all painted up, and then you could save it, and it goes into this little park. And then, I don't know if you've played with this yet.
I haven't played with that part yet, no.
And so you can go back and visit the park, and all of the animals that you have created are in the park, and they hide behind bushes, and they walk across the screen.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing.
You get to see your creations come to life and live in this little park.
Oh my gosh.
I wanted to take it away from him so I could play with it some more. But he got hooked on another game.
That's when you wait till they go to sleep, and then, while they're sleeping, you just
pull out the kids' toys.
No, I've played around with it a little bit too, and I actually did have fun. I was like, man, I kind of want one for me.
So would you recommend, do you think, you've had it around for the week, would you recommend it as something that somebody should consider for their child?
Yeah, I think I would. If you are the type to just buy one big present for your kid's birthday or Christmas present, or even if you are planning to do some kind of education with them and need a tool to help you with that, I do recommend it. I think that for the price, and I did see several different prices depending on where you buy it from, but I think overall $60 to $100, it is worth it in the long run if your child is into technology.
Excellent. So that's the InnoTab 2
from VTech.
Okay, so there you go. There's the review.
Yep. Done.
Done. Cross that off the list. So we've been doing some fun stuff this week as well. It's been an eventful week.
It really has been a very eventful week for me. And for all of us, really. You
had a birthday for Lander, and you had in-laws. Your in-laws were with you for 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, 4 days, I think, yeah.
And then you also had your stepson, Aiden.
Yep, he came for his brother's birthday.
And we started a new workout program.
Yep.
7 a.m. bright and early Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday morning.
I gotta tell you, staying up late with the family every night to get enough interaction in before everybody left, and then getting up at 6:45 so I could at least put a clean shirt on before the workout began. That was an adventure. Experiment in sleep deprivation and fitness.
But you did it. You did it.
I did make it to every single one. Only one I missed was yesterday's, and that's because my internet was being crappy.
Right. And so if that doesn't make any sense to you at all, here's what's happening.
Sorry.
Here's what's happening. We started, Mama Bear here got kind of cranky because I kept hearing the girls say, I want to work out. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to work out. I'm talking about Elizabeth and her sister Megan. You know, I want to work out, but I don't have time, and I don't have anybody to work out with. And so I learned about Google Hangouts last week.
Which is so cool.
Yeah, Google Hangouts. And what you need, if you're interested, go to just Google Hangouts on Air. So it's called Google Hangouts on Air. And you can get up to 10 people together on Google Hangouts on Air. And if you're not familiar with it, it's kind of like Skype, but to the next level. You can get your group together via video chat, which is what we do. It's the three of us. And you can broadcast it live at google.com. So people from all over the planet can go to Google Hangouts on Air and see what it is you're doing with your little group. And then at the end of it, it saves the video and puts it on YouTube. So, brilliant mother that I am.
You are brilliant, actually.
I got both girls together and I got them to commit to getting up early in the morning, which neither of them like to do.
No, not at all.
And we meet on Google Hangouts at 7 o'clock. We just started this week.
Yep,
So
Monday was our first day.
5 workouts under our belt. We did yoga on Monday, legs on Tuesday, back and shoulders on Wednesday, core on Thursday, and today we did chest and arms. And so we do this on Google Hangouts. The three of us, you can see us working out in our funny outfits and our goofy hair. And
oh, yeah. I wore a Pabst Blue Ribbon shirt today.
Exactly. Yeah. Great health-conscious family that we are.
Hey, the shirt was free.
To give it some credibility, I am a personal trainer. I am a yoga teacher. And my daughter Megan is also a personal trainer. So we actually do kind of know what we're doing. And
I don't.
Elizabeth is a great sport. She does anything we ask her to.
I'm like the guinea pig. I'm like the, hey, you know, if you're sitting at home and you really don't know how to work out, if I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah. You do a great job and you're a good sport. And of all three of us, you're the one probably that smiles the most.
I have a good time with it. I like it.
Yeah, it's fun. And we do it with the kids running around. Lander so far has slept through it, probably because he was so worn out from all the activities this week.
Yeah.
But my other granddaughter, Clarissa, runs around in the background.
She becomes part of the workout. Megan was using her for those, what were they, the deadlifts? Or
The bent over rows.
Bent over rows.
Yeah.
Megan
Toddlers make great weights.
Yeah, I was so impressed with Megan because she was keeping her baby entertained and still working out.
Yeah.
I was just,
And
I have a smart family.
Brilliant, I tell you,
We're all
brilliant.
geniuses.
But yeah, Megan spends a lot of the workouts with Clarissa on her hip or using her as the weight resistance. So that's fun. So it's fun. So you like it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think part of my cheerfulness in the morning is delirium. Because, I mean, I really do go to bed at, sometimes it's late as like 1 or 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
I sit up with the baby. You know, she usually likes to wake up right about the time I say, go to sleep.
Right. And then she's up early in the morning.
And she's up early in the morning anyway. So really getting up early has not been difficult exactly because she's going to be up anyway.
Right.
And when she's not up exactly when I'm up, I know she'll get up soon anyway. So I may as well be up and get my workout in real quick.
Right. And we only do it. I think the videos, the longest one was 28 minutes, but that's not all working out. That some of that is us chit-chatting.
Yeah.
And we had so much fun chit-chatting when we're done that we decided we're going to start recording that too.
Yeah, it was quite entertaining this morning. We were all sitting there. Just like, why are we off air?
Why are we not recording this? Because this is brilliant.
Brilliant. Again, brilliant.
So, and I wanted to say, pretty good job to you too, because during those bent over rows this week, you were using Janet.
No, I was not.
You were not?
I was using the car seat, and I had my cans of beans that I had been using as a weight. I put the cans of beans in the car seat. She thought I had the baby there. No, the baby was asleep in another room. I really am glad that you're that impressed with me and that you have so much faith in me. But no, there was no baby in the car seat.
You fooled me.
Not on purpose.
Did you roll up a blanket and then squish it all up to make
No.
it? No.
No, I put the cans of beans in there.
So how much does that car seat weigh?
A few pounds.
Oh, jeez.
And then,
You're so busted.
I would never tried to lie about it. It just, I had the mute thing on my camera, so I couldn't tell you right away no. And then later, it just slipped my mind to even remark upon it that you had lied to our viewers.
Okay, well, there you go.
You're the liar here. I said nothing.
Oh, my goodness. Okay, fine. Next time, I'm just going to call it a can of beans.
Yep. 2 cans of beans.
2 cans.
They're 15 ounces of beans each, so there's at least 2 pounds there if you count the weight of the cans. Plus 3 or 4 pounds for the car. No, probably more like 5 or 6 pounds for the car seat. And so that's 7 or 8 pounds.
We're going to have to get you some water jugs and fill them up with the water or something.
I have some. I just didn't feel like going and getting them.
Oh.
They're on top of the water heater thingy.
Laziness. Okay, I expect those next week when we do our...
Calling me lazy when I get up at 7 a.m. every morning after going to bed past midnight. Yep.
I can do that.
I'm lazy.
So how do you feel? Do you feel any different from working out all week long? You made it a whole week.
I did.
Do you feel better? Different? Do your legs hurt?
They're fine. The soreness is finally starting to go away. The leg workout was what, Tuesday?
Tuesday.
I was sore all the way until this morning. That is ridiculous and unfair because I had relatives visiting that I had to cater to and walk places and lift things and
it'll feel so much better.
And
next
work.
week.
Walking to and from work last night was kind of difficult. It was not fun, but I did it.
Good for you. Yeah,
because I'm hardcore like that.
So if you're local, come to the diner, 19th Street Diner.
Thursday nights.
Check out Miss Betty.
Yeah, that's my alias when I'm at work.
Miss Betty, the waitress, at your service. Do you chew gum when you're waitressing?
No, I'm not very good at chewing gum. It often pops out of my mouth, so I think that would be unsanitary.
So chewing gum and walking is just out of the question.
I know, right? I can barely walk and talk at the same time. Sometimes I can barely walk, so...
You're a professional waitress at your service.
Yeah.
Do you ever spill stuff?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes I spill things. Usually on myself.
We've gone way over our time.
Oh.
We're like 3 minutes past our technical time.
Oh.
So we should...
Is there a boss that's going to get mad at us?
Nope. Not at all.
Okay, so we do what we want.
We do what we want.
We do what we want.
We're in charge. But people may not want to listen to us for much longer.
All right. Well, you do what you want. If we're not entertaining you, then
sayonara.
Yeah, then
bye. We're just entertaining ourselves.
Right now, this is more of for us than for you. I'm sorry.
Oh, stop. Stop.
I'm joking. I love you all, whoever you are.
I love you too. Okay, but we will wrap it up because we have more to share next week. We're going to do this again, right?
Yeah, we will do this a lot.
We're going to call this Kim, Liz, and Company for now, right?
Klizco for short.
Klizco? That sounds kind of kinky.
It sounds like some kind of pornographic baking substance.
What? All right, we're getting crazy now.
Yeah, we need to go.
We need to go. So, I'm Kim.
And I'm Liz.
We'll
Have a great week.
Bye.